Hello and welcome to the very first composition tutorial at MJT lowercase compositions on YouTube. I also have a Facebook page, MJT lowercase compositions, and I have another YouTube page, Mr. Mike's Music Method LLC, and Facebook page, Mr. Mike's Music Method. Okay, we will be starting very basic, and then over the course of these tutorials, we'll gradually get more complex, okay? So what you're going to want to do is first get yourself, if you don't already have one, get yourself this book, Scales, Chords, and Arpeggios by James Bastian. I have been using it for many years with many students. It's phenomenal. If you don't have one, I'm going to figure out how to leave a link below so you can click on it and get it for yourself. This is like $6, I think. Yeah, it's totally worth having, especially for this tutorial. You won't be able to really be successful at the tutorial if you don't get this book, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to just go all the way over to page 4 first. We're not going to really look at the index yet. I don't want you to get overwhelmed, okay? I'm assuming you have a base knowledge of piano music. If you don't, again, this course isn't going to work for you until you get a base knowledge of where middle C is and what a chord is and that whole thing, okay? But today we're only going to be using one chord and one scale, okay? So we are on page 4. This is C major, okay? First we see the scale here, and then we're going to skip the second row and go to the first chord of the bottom row is a C major triad, okay? Triad means 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, okay? And all we're going to do is take the chord in the left hand and take the scale in the right hand and create a melody. It's not going to be complex. It's not going to be Beethoven Symphony No. 9. It's going to be something rather simple, but we'll get the job done. I'm also going to explain a few things before we start composing, okay? The first thing, though, is to find out how to play C major chord in the left hand. You want to go 1 octave below middle C, 1, counting C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the left. Put your pinky on C, middle finger on E, and thumb on G. That's the chord we will be working with today, and the only chord we will be working with. Next time I will introduce 2 chords, then eventually 3, and then A minor, and then how to mix A minor and C major, and so on. There's so much to teach you. Now, what we also want to have a knowledge of is how to play the scale in 1 octave at least. That's where your melody comes from. Your melody comes from the scale, harmony comes from the left hand, and you can play eventually like this. Beethoven's very famous piano sonata in C major, Waldstein, starts with a C major triad. It's just ingenious. Anyway, things you're going to want to avoid. You do not want to play the chord while playing B and F at the same time. In the right hand, you do not want to play B and F at the same time, pretty much ever. Unless you really know what you're doing and you can do this. Okay, but again, this is lesson 1, so I'm assuming you don't know how to do what I just did. And no offense if you do know, that's great. But again, if you listen to it, awful. It's just like, imagine if you wrote the Waldstein Sonata like that, would it be popular? No way. It's like, I don't know what it's like. It's like vinegar and, I don't know, and milk. It's just bad. All right, so avoid F and B at the same time. The other intervals will sound okay. So if you're playing a third in the right hand and you move up and down like I just did, it's going to sound fine. B sounds really nice. That's a melody right there. I just made that up, okay? But we're going to go back and we're We're going to do something really basic, okay? So let's just play a C chord with middle C at the same time. And then let's play E with the C chord at the same time. G. And then A. Okay, so we're going to use those 4 notes, C, E, G, A. Sounds pretty. It's called the C major 6 chord. And we're going to doodle with just those notes. So again, left hand C, E, G, and right hand C, E, G, A. That's it. You can copy that if you want to. You can come up with something completely different if you want to. Again, stay away from F and B. Stay away from E and F. Stay away from B and C. This doesn't sound as bad. What's interesting though is if I play a B with the C chord, it's really pretty because they're not close to each other. So it's still a little what we call dissonant. But with the rest of the chord, it rounds it out and smoothens it. It's very pretty. Well, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, constructive criticism, let me know. I also want to thank you for being here today, and I will see you next time. Bye.